Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are finally going to be taking a look at all 5 members of the Forbidden 5 as minifigures for Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3. Now that the summer sets are out, the final few members have been released officially, and I am so happy, so excited to finally have the full group of Forbidden 5 in front of me. I am so ready to talk about these. From left to right, we have Kerr, Master of Decay, Drix, Master of Swarm, Rox, Master of Fear, Zark, Master of Misfortune, and Noct, Master of Brute Force. I'm not kidding, those are their elemental powers. Like I said, we finally have the full group after waiting so long, or at least I've been waiting so long since some of these guys were released in January of this year, but now finally in August I have the full collection. So happy to get into this group just as they are. I think they look fantastic together. For today's video, like I said, we will be taking a look at each of these figures individually on their own, talking about their strengths, weaknesses, all things considered, and overall just how well they work as a unit and how good they look as an entire collection, because I gotta say, having the full set right here, I'm so happy. They look so good together. So let's start at the end with Kerr, and we will go down the list from there. So first things first, we have Kerr, the Elemental Master of Decay, and I gotta say, first things first, this minifigure looks fantastic in terms of accuracy to the show. This looks straight up just 1-to-1 from the show. It's that good. I think Kerr looks fantastic here. The color scheme, again, isn't really that consistent to the rest of the Forbidden 5. They all use black, no black here, but in a way, I think that works for Kerr. She's more unique like that. Love that she has a printed arm. That's fantastic. Nice attention to detail there. The back looks good too. Again, with the more decayed, torn up aesthetic. Again, she looks like a zombie. She looks like a corpse, very much fitting her element, I would say. The armor piece and the hat are well done too. The hat is the same one that Rox uses, same color and everything, so that's kind of weird, I guess, but still, I think she looks really good. My only complaint about Kerr, I wish we could see her eyes just looking at her head on. Instead, you kind of gotta angle her a little bit to see her lovely face, I guess you could say. Yeah, very zombie inspired though, and I think she looks really good like that. Just kind of readjusting her, taking off the hat, that'll give us a better look at the face. All around fantastic head print too. I like that little weird tuft of hair coming out the back of her head there. Just gnarly, just really kind of gross and again corpse-like, but I think it works. I love the torn up clothes too. Again, she feels like a zombie, and I think that's a very, very good thing. Putting her hat back on though, I like this figure. I like it a lot. I wish it wasn't exclusive to the Lloyd's Jet set, of course. This figure might be a little bit expensive on the aftermarket because of that, so might have a hard time getting this if you don't get the Lloyd Jet, but overall, I think this figure is fantastic. Very good representation of Kerr from the show. While not my favorite Forbidden 5 design, she looks fantastic. What can I say? Next up, we have Drix. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Drix because I've had this figure for a while and I've reviewed this figure already before too, so I'm not going to spend, again, a whole lot of time talking about Drix, but I still really enjoy this design as it is. I know behind the scenes, sounds like there's a ton of drama with Drix and his design specifically. If you don't know, check out some of my other videos, get caught up on that lore, I guess. But still, I really enjoy this design. Sure, the hat is a little smaller than it should be, but I think he looks really good, just all things considered. Love the black, the gold, and the red color scheme. Yeah, no complaints from me. Drix is still awesome. Next up, though, we have, oh my goodness, this might just be one of my favorite Ninjago minifigures ever made. This is Rox, and she is just so good looking. That is amazing. Now, obviously, I did give her the cape. She does not come with the cape in the actual set that she comes in, that of course being the J mech dragon thing. Instead, she comes with armor. I gave her a cape just for show accuracy. The cape was the way to go. It kind of drags across the ground a little bit. This specific one that I used, it's not like completely fitting her, just because she is very short. She is kind of like a gremlin. She's about 4 feet tall. Yeah, but I think that looks good on her still. And again, she is short, so she does utilize these short legs, which are printed. The printing on those legs, that's fantastic. And I just love taking her off the stand quick. I just love the short legs. You can just pose them still. They're so like stubby. That's just awesome. I love how this figure turned out. Again, color scheme wise, very consistent too, compared to what we see in the show. Nice browns and blacks used, just all around fantastic. Going to the back and flipping up the cape super quick, we can see the back of her torso design. That also looks really good with the Forbidden 5 logo just kind of strapped on there. Yeah, just fantastic. The only thing that I will say about the color scheme that I was initially kind of put off by was just how bright of an orange the head is underneath, as I just throw her hat around, because why not? Yeah, that is a very, very bright orange. Might not come across that well on camera, but I think that is the traditional Lego orange. Yeah, kind of bright. I took it out of the packaging. I was like, whoa, that's not as dull as it probably should be. It doesn't bother me, though. I think it still looks really good. And plus, that face print is just, that's incredible. That looks like rocks. Her angry little eyebrows, the nice, scary mask that she has. So good. I love that so much. Of course, the back of the head has some details too. It's just, again, a little off-putting how bright it is at first, but still not a bad design there, I would say. And putting her hat back on, she does have kind of the same problem as Kerr, where if you're looking at her head on, you don't really see her eyes. You gotta kind of like angle her a little bit to see her entire face, but still, I love this figure. This, again, is probably one of my favorite Ninjago minifigures ever. This is just such a funny design. It's so cool. Rox is such a fun character. Yeah, this one is definitely a big win for me. This was one of my most anticipated figures to get from the summer wave, if not my most anticipated, and I really love this figure. She looks fantastic. Next up here, we have Zark. Now, this is actually my first time taking a look at this figure too. I know that Zark is not a new figure for the summer of 2025, but I did not get the set with him that came out in March, so this is my first time looking at this figure physically, and I gotta say, he looks pretty solid overall. I'm not crazy about the headgear. I don't think it looks bad, it's just not at all accurate to what he has in the show. It's a similar shape, but it's not the same thing. And people have made, third-party, like 3D printed head pieces that look a lot more similar to how it appears in the show. That's all fine and dandy. I don't mind the official one, like I said. I just kind of wish it was a little bit more show accurate. But speaking of show accuracy, the torso and not the legs, but the dress, the robe, that looks pretty good. I like how both of those look. Forbidden 5 symbol on the back in purple. Love the dark green and the gold. Maybe could have used a little bit more black. Maybe those chains could have been black instead of gold. I don't really mind how it looks, though, overall. I think it looks pretty good. Taking off that hat, though, let's get a look at his face. Very shocking face underneath. Again, kind of looks panther-ish to me, but according to official canon, it's a wolf. Sure. He also does have an alternate face, which is interesting. I think he's the only one of the 5 to actually have 2 face prints, because the helmet kind of covers up everything. I will say as well, you can't really see his eyes all that well through the hat unless you have like a lot of light in there. You can kind of see it on my camera here, how I have my setup going. But yeah, overall, not my favorite design, just as it is for the Forbidden 5, and I wish he was a little bit more show accurate, but it's nice to finally have Zark in my collection after, again, not having him for a few months since he's been out. He is definitely a cool minifigure in his own right. And last, and probably least, because we've talked about this figure a few times already, here we have Noct. Again, very excellent design still, and again, I did give him the cape a while ago. Same cape that I gave Rox, just because that's how they appear in the show. Yeah, Noct has been around for a little while. This figure has been out since January. I've had this figure since January. I don't really have much else to say about him other than I enjoy how he looks, and I especially love how he looks with his sister, Rox. Oh my goodness, these two look so good together. What a duo, especially with the capes. You guys got to get the capes for them. They look so good with the capes. They look so good together. I'm so glad to finally have these two. But yeah, Noct is still a great minifigure, great design overall. I just don't really have much else to say about him, unfortunately. So overall, this group of characters, I am so happy to finally have the full lineup. I think they all look so fantastic together, especially with Rox in the center there. She just looks amazing. I love pretty much all of these figures. I do have gripes with a few of them, of course. They're not like perfect, in the case of Zark especially, but I do think, again, having the full set is a collector's dream, and as a big Ninjago minifigure collector, I knew that I wanted all of the Forbidden 5. You have no idea how good it feels to finally have the full set, the full squad of Forbidden 5, and I cannot wait to add these figures to my minifigure stand and include them finally in my collection as a specific and single unit. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these guys. I think for the most part, they turned out very well. You know, like I said, could make a few changes here and there, but overall, I am very much happy with this set of minifigures. Would totally recommend for any Ninjago collector. Try to complete the 5. It is so worth it, and it feels so good to have all of them, I promise. But with that being said, everyone, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. What exactly do you think of the 5 Forbidden 5 member minifigures? Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite? Which ones obviously are you looking to add to your collection? Which ones do you have? Do you have the complete collection? Leave all of your thoughts down below, and hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you guys did, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.